Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are finally divorced. Their divorce was finalized New Year's Eve. This was after an 8-year legal battle. And you're probably thinking, okay, well, so what? What, a rich Hollywood couple going through a divorce? Why should I care? But Brad Pitt's experience in this whole ordeal really offers men a lot of lessons when it comes to dating and marriage to women. Lust, infatuation, whatever you want to call it, these are very powerful emotions, and when you are in the thick of it, it's very easy to confuse it for love. The beginning of the relationship, the chemistry is always off the charts, the sparks are flying everywhere. You get completely swept up in it, and it's during this phase of the relationship, a man is not thinking logically. He's actually thinking more like a woman during this phase. He's making decisions based purely off of emotions. Men, you have to be cautious. It's during this fun part of the relationship that you're likely to make a rash decision and jump into something serious before you really get to know the woman. Brad Pitt was just getting out of a long-term relationship, marriage to Jennifer Aniston. There was some speculation, rumors that there was some overlap when Angelina Jolie entered the picture. Brad Pitt denied that, but irregardless, it did seem like the ink wasn't even dry on the divorce papers before things heated up with the Tomb Raider. Men, when you're getting out of a long-term relationship, especially a marriage, you gotta take a little bit of time to decompress before jumping back into something serious. Men, if you rush too quickly, you're obviously not going to be properly vetting the woman. Fellas, if you have bought into this modern feminist narrative about, a woman's past does not matter, then you're an idiot, okay? And you deserve whatever happens to you if you do not properly vet your woman. Now, when it comes to Brad and Angelina, I'm not claiming that Brad Pitt didn't properly vet her, but when it comes to Angelina's past, bad boy Billy Bob Thornton took Angelina down in her prime, bro.
You want me to be honest with you? We in the car on the way here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, fellas, when you hear somebody describing a woman having genuine burning desire for a man, this is it. You know a woman is into you when she's chomping on you like Sid's dog from Toy Story.
Ready, set, now!
I think that Billy Bob left a major imprint on Angelina. I think this might be a alpha widow type situation. Now, some of you physically comparing Brad and Billy Bob might disagree with that assessment. And yes, from the standpoint of how society defines physical attractiveness, Brad Pitt is more attractive than Billy Bob, but Billy Bob has that rough bad boy quality that chicks with daddy issues dig. Angelina's strained relationship with her father over the years has been well documented, so probably playing a factor here. Men, you have to exercise extreme caution when entering relationships with single mothers, especially women who are single mothers by choice. Now, folks, when it comes to Angelina Jolie, I am in no way knocking her for adopting. What she did, taking children in who would have grown up in impoverished circumstances with little to no opportunity, and bringing them into a stable, resource-rich environment and giving them all the tools they need to succeed in life, that is a beautiful thing to be commended. It really is. From a humanitarian standpoint, I applaud her for that. But speaking from a relationship standpoint, for a man entering that kind of situation, there's some significant risk involved. Women who are single mothers by choice tend to have this mentality of, my children don't need a man in their life. They don't need a father, which ties into my last point. Leftist, feminist, single mother. Man, it was all working against Brad. There was no way that this was going to end well. Leftist feminism, especially the Hollywood brand of leftist feminism, is very hostile towards men. In Hollywood, masculinity is viewed as inherently toxic. So this ending with Brad Pitt being isolated from the kids was inevitable. In leftist feminism, the attitude is usually one of, these are my children. The father is seen as a glorified sperm donor, and the only thing that he is good for is his resources, nothing more. And as a father, you're left fighting this uphill battle against all the negative stories about you and trying to reestablish relationships with your children.